because I'm about to go in and share some great information with you. And not only that, but make sure you got a pen and a notepad, because I want to share two simple beliefs that I believe that are required for you to be able to have the success that you want. A lot of times we're out here pursuing success, and a lot of times we want to make it complex. We believe that our success lies on the other side of complexity. But the reality of it is, oftentimes, success is so much more simpler than what you really believe. And so whatever success may mean for you, and I understand that your definition of success and my definition of success may be entirely different. And if we were to go ahead and ask everybody to share what their definition of success is, there's a possibility that we would get a different response from everyone. However, regardless of what your definition of success is, I believe wholeheartedly that there are two beliefs that you've got to buy into in order for you to have the level of success that you want in your life, the level of success that you want in your relationships, the level of success that you want in your business. And so if you're a note taker, and my friend Trevor Ott says this all the time, that note takers are money makers. I'm gonna say that again. Note takers are money makers. And so I hope that you got a pen, you got a pad, and you're ready to take some notes. And so here's the first thing that I want you to understand. Here's one of the first beliefs that I believe that all successful people have in common. And I believe it's a belief system that you have to buy into to be able to have the level of success that you want. The first thing, and I want you to write this down, the first belief that they have is that tomorrow will be better than today. I'm going to repeat that one more time. One of the things that's essential for you to be able to have success, for you to be able to take your life to where you want it, your relationship, your finances, every single aspect of your life, your health, your spirituality, the one of the things that's required for you to be able to take things to an entirely different level, the first thing I need you to understand is you have to have a belief that tomorrow will be better than today. You have to have the belief that tomorrow will be better than today. As a matter of fact, you need to believe that the future is going to be better than the present. There needs to be a deep down belief in you that tomorrow is going to be better than today. And there needs to be a deep down belief in you that your future is going to be better than the present. And so the reason why that is so very important is because here's what I want you to understand, that hope in the future, a belief that tomorrow is going to be better, a belief that you're going to take your business to the next level, the belief that you're going to be able to find a fulfilling and happy relationship, the belief that you are going to get better health-wise, the belief that you're going to get smarter, wiser, better, and you're going to age like fine wine. That is essential to be able to empower you today. In other words, hope in the future gives you power in the present. I'm going to say that one more time. One of my mentors a long time ago said this, and I thought it was so profound. And this is what he said. He said that hope in the future gives you power in the present. And so one of the firm beliefs that I believe that all successful people have is that they firmly believe that wherever they are right now, whatever their circumstances are right now, whatever today looks like for them right now, they believe that tomorrow is going to be better. And so if they had a bad day, they believe that tomorrow is going to be better. If they had a wonderful day, they believe that tomorrow is going to be even better. And if tomorrow comes and it's not quite what they thought it was going to be, they're looking forward to the next day because they know and they have a belief that tomorrow is going to be better than today. And they have a belief that the future is going to be better than the present. I'm telling you, it's essential. And so what I want you to understand is the reason why it's so powerful is because when you have that type of a belief system, when you believe that tomorrow is going to be better than today, when you believe that your future is going to be better than the present, what it does is it empowers you right now, where you are right now. And so the reason why you can put your head down and keep working your business so that you can take your business to the next level is because you're operating from a place that you believe that your business is going to grow. You believe that things are going to get better. The reason why you can put your head down and work hard on your marriage and work hard on your relationships is because you believe that they will get better. You believe that they can go to the next level. The reason that you work hard right now and you start changing your health regimen right now, and you start changing the way that you're eating and your exercise regimen is because you're operating from a belief system that tomorrow is going to be better. And so I need you to understand the one thing that all successful people have in common is they have a belief that listen what they believe, that hope in the future will give them power in the present. And so they believe that the future will be better than the present. And they believe that tomorrow will be better than today. And so I've gotten to see sort of firsthand how that really shows up in your life. And so I need you to understand this. You know, my mom is an immigrant. My mom came to the United States literally from the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. My mom came here originally to the United States from Haiti. And see, my mom literally left Haiti and came to the United States with $150 to her name. I need you to understand this. My mom left one country, came to another country where she didn't really have any true contacts, where she didn't have any opportunities set up for her, where she didn't know where she was going to work. She didn't know exactly how things were going to work out. She didn't have a job that was waiting for her. She showed up to a country that she didn't even speak the language with less than $150. Literally, all she had was about $150 to her name, and she came here to this country. Now, what is it that gets somebody to leave where they're at and to leave their country and to come to an entirely different country and to literally come to a country where they don't speak the language, where there's no guarantees, and where they come with literally less than $150 to their name? I need you to understand this. The only thing that drives somebody to do that is because they have a strong belief system that what lies ahead of them is going to be greater than what they're leaving behind. In other words, they believe that tomorrow is going to be better than their current day. They believe that the future is going to be better than the present. And so what I need you to understand is this is not just true when it comes to my mom. I want you to understand something, because I believe that we can learn a lesson here. Here's what I want you to understand very carefully, that it has been shown, statistically speaking, that when immigrants come to this country, on average, they will earn more than natives, people who were born in the United States. I'm going to say that again. There have literally been studies done, and statistically speaking, when immigrants come to this country, statistically speaking, they will earn more than those who are born here in this country. You say, well, wait a second, that doesn't make much sense. How does an immigrant come to this country who doesn't speak the language, that doesn't understand the cultures and the customs, that is leaving behind their comfort zone and coming completely outside their comfort zone? How do they come here and outperform, in many instances, those who are born here? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a lesson for all of us to learn, regardless if we're immigrants or not. And the lesson is they come here with an expectation that their tomorrow is going to be better than their today. They come with an expectation that the future is going to be better than the present. And so that's what I need you to understand. And that's what I need you to really just operate from that belief system. Because when you operate from that belief system that your tomorrow is going to be better than today, that your future is going to be better than the present, that what lies before you is far greater than what lies behind you, that the rest of your life is going to be the best of your life. When you operate from that place, all of a sudden you show up differently with what you're doing right now, because you're operating from a place of higher expectations. You're operating from a place in which you know that things are about to shift and things are about to change for you. And so here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to put your hands on the keyboard, and I want you to go ahead and type this in right now. Hashtag the future. Hashtag the future. Go ahead and put that down right now. Put hashtag the future. Hashtag the future. Because what I need you to understand is the amazing thing that successful people have in common is that they have a firm, deep down belief that the future, listen carefully, that the future is going to be better than the present. They have a firm belief that the future has got better and bigger things for them. They have a firm belief that the future is going to lead to more income, that the future is going to lead to better health, that the future is going to lead to better relationships, that the future is going to lead to greater happiness, that the future is going to lead to greater contentment. And because they have that belief, it changes the way that they show up in the present. Understand this. I need you to get this. This is so simple, but it is yet so profound. That understand this, that the deep down belief is I need you to understand this. The deep down belief is that the future will be better than the present. And so when you operate from that place, things begin to change. When you operate from that place, you begin to rise and raise your expectations. And so let me tell you the reason why it's so important that you raise your expectations in life. Let me tell you why it's so important for you to understand. Because of this, when you have a deep down belief that the future is going to be even better than the present, what happens means that you have a positive outlook of what tomorrow is going to look like. In other words, when you look at tomorrow, you have high expectations for tomorrow. And the reason why it's so important that you have high expectations and that you raise your level of expectations is this, and I want you to write this down. Nobody rises to low expectations. Ooh, write that down, write that down. Nobody rises to low expectations. The first time that I heard that, it blew me away. I heard somebody who was a mentor of mine, and we were sitting down and we were having a little private session, and he was having the conversation, and I heard him say, the reason why it's so important that you got to raise your expectations is because nobody rises to low expectations. And so if you want to rise in your life, like you're looking to rise in your finances, you're looking to rise in your relationships, you want to rise in your health, you want to rise in whatever aspect in your life, understand this, that the only reason why you're going to rise is because you have risen your expectations. And so the thing is, some people are trying to figure out why they're remaining stagnant in life. Or in other words, the reason why they're trying to figure out why life is declining. In other words, they're going in the opposite direction which they want to go. And I would tell you right now, oftentimes the reason why is because they have failed to raise their expectations. And at some point, you got to be willing to raise your expectations. Why? Because nobody rises to low expectations. Somebody do me a favor right now. Go ahead and hit the share button. Hit the share button, because I know that there is somebody that you are connected to that needs to hear this message. And once you hit the share button, do me a favor, put hashtag shared. Hashtag shared. That's going to be your way of letting me know that you shared this message, because this message is resonating with you and it's making sense with you. So do me a favor, just go ahead and click the share button, because I need you to understand this. The reason why you need to raise your expectations is because nobody rises to low expectations. I want to share something with you that really helps me really drive home this point. There is a book. It is known as The Other Westmore. You can go ahead. I suggest that maybe perhaps you buy a copy of the book, or that you at least understand the premise of the book. And so the title of the book is called The Other Westmore. And so the book, the whole premise around the book is that you have two young men who basically were born around the same time, who basically grew up a couple of blocks from each other, and both of them happen to have the same name. One of them's name was Westmore, and the other one's name was Westmore. And literally, they just lived just a couple of blocks from each other. They were born around the same time as one another, literally, and they grew up in about the same neighborhood as one another. This is what I need you to get. Very, very powerful here. However, even though they were born around the same time, even though they were born in the same type of neighborhood, they had two very completely different outcomes. One of those gentlemen literally went on to become a Rhodes Scholar. One of them went on to the military. One of them eventually would go ahead and hold a position as part of the committee at the White House. The other one is serving a lifetime prison sentence. Listen carefully. You got two people who grew up in the same neighborhood, who basically were born around the same time, who lived just a couple blocks from each other, that had the same name. One of them went on to be a Rhodes Scholar, go into the military, hold leadership positions, become a best-selling author, become a speaker, go to the White House, and the other one is serving a lifetime sentence in prison. And so what happened is the book, The Other Westmore, is basically sharing what's taking place in both of their lives. And so here's what happened. The Westmore that had a great deal of success in life decided to go ahead and pay a visit to the other Westmore, who is serving a lifetime prison sentence. And while he went to go visit the other Westmore, he went ahead and had a conversation. And in the midst of that conversation, he had literally a very profound question. And here's the question that he asked the other Westmore. So the successful Westmore, the one that's a speaker, an author, the one that was a Rhodes Scholar, the one that served in the military, he asked the other Westmore, who is serving a lifetime prison sentence, Here's the question that he asked him. This is where the learning lesson is for all of us. He said to him this is what he said. He said, do you believe that we are a product of our environments? Do you believe that we are a product of our environments? That's the question that he asked. He said, do you believe, because you and I were born around the same time. We grew up in the same neighborhood, right? We had two very different outcomes in our lives. You're serving a lifetime prison sentence, and I've accomplished some extraordinary things. And so I want to share this story about how our lives have gone two different paths. And so the profound question, because this has been an argument for a very long time, and people have shared this over and over again. And he said, so this is the question that I have. He said, do you believe that we are a product of our environment? And he said that the Westmore, who is serving the lifetime prison sentence, said something very profound. And here's what he said. He said, I don't believe that we're a product of our environment. He said, I believe that we are a product of our expectations. Ooh, woo! I don't know if you just caught that. I don't know if you understand how significant that statement is, but here's what he said. He said, I don't believe that we are a product of our environment. He said that I believe we are the product of our expectations. And so here's what I want you to understand, that in many ways in life, your expectations are literally a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so you will rise to the level of your expectations. And so what happens is, if you want to be able to take your life to the next level, if you want more out of life, if you want more out of business, if you want more out of your relationships, if you want more out of your finances, if you want more out of everything that is going on in your life, understand this, then what it means is that you need to raise your expectations. That's what it boils down to. You need to raise your expectations. You have to operate from the belief system that there is more for your marriage. You got to operate from the belief system that there's more in your business. You got to operate from the belief system that things are going to happen. Because understand this, you are not a product of your environment. You are a product of your expectations. And if you don't like what is going on in your life, then raise the expectations. Because when you raise your expectations, you begin to show up differently. When you show up differently, you begin to take different actions. When you take different actions, you begin to produce different results. When you produce different results, you begin to change your life. And so that is the power. That is the power. And so what we got to learn to do is stop trying to make things complex. And so it really boils down to, what are you expecting out of your life? What are you expecting right now? What are you expecting out of the rest of this year? What are you expecting over the next 5 years? What are you expecting in the next 10 years? What are you expecting in your marriage? What are you expecting in your finances? What are you expecting in your health? What are you expecting in your personal walk of faith? What are you expecting? Listen, nobody rises to low expectations. Understand that. Nobody rises to low expectations. And so you've got to learn to raise your expectations in life. If you want a more fulfilling life, if you want greater things to happen, you got to raise the expectations. Come on, folks. Somebody go ahead and hit that share button. Hit that share button, because I know that there's somebody you connected to. They need to hear this. They are operating from a place of low expectations, and they're trying to figure out why every single year they're not producing the results that they want. They're trying to figure out why they're not having the level of satisfaction that they want from their relationships. They're trying to figure out why they can't necessarily get into the level of health that they want. They're trying to figure out why their finances aren't where they want to be. They're trying to figure out, and what they fail to understand is that they are getting everything that they want in life, because their life is a reflection of their expectations. Ooh, woo! Listen now, their life is a result of their expectations. And so what they're doing is they're wishing that things are going to change. They're wishing that things are going to change in their finances. They're wishing that things are going to change in their relationships, when what they need to do is go from wishing to now just simply raising the expectations. And so I need you to get this. I need you to understand this, because this is where it happens. The first major belief that successful people have is that tomorrow will be better than today. That, listen carefully, that the future will be better than the present. And the reason why they operate from that place is because they have a high level of expectation for what life has in store for them. And so when you want to take your life to the next level, you need to simply learn to raise your expectations. And the reason why it's so important is because nobody, listen carefully, nobody rises to low expectations. You are not a product of your environment. You are a product of your expectations. Somebody go ahead and do me a favor and put hashtag next level, hashtag next level. That's what we want to do. We want to go ahead and be able to see and project and raise our expectations so that we can get to the next level. Someone put hashtag next level, hashtag next level, because this is the time right now, not tomorrow, to start raising your expectations. This is the time right now to get seriously serious about having a different forecast of what tomorrow is going to be. And so if you want to raise your energy level, stop focusing on what's taking place right now. Stop focusing on what your relationship looks like right now. Stop just focusing on what your bank account looks like right now. Stop just focusing on what your business looks like right now, but raise your expectations and start operating from a place expecting that tomorrow is going to be better. Why? Because nobody rises to low expectations. Now, here's the second belief that I believe that all really, really successful people all hold true. Here's the second belief that they all hold true. Here's what they understand, that they have power over their circumstances and that their circumstances do not have power over them. The second major belief that all successful people have in common. And so whatever your definition of success may be, the second major belief that all successful people have in common is that they have power over their circumstances and that their circumstances do not have power over them. Very, very important for you to understand. There's a lot of people right now who are stuck, and the reason why they're stuck is because they're operating with a victim mentality. And so what they believe is that they are a victim of their environment, and they believe that they're a victim of their circumstances. And so they believe that the reason why their life looks the way that it looks is because of what somebody did to them, because of their boss, because of the system, because of who's in the White House, because of what legislation got passed. And so their belief system is that their life is a reflection of the circumstances. But what I want you to understand is that the shift that happens in the minds of people that are successful is that they understand wholeheartedly and they believe wholeheartedly that they are not a product of their circumstances, but rather that they have complete control and the ability to be able to change the circumstances. In other words, do you understand that there's a significant difference between literally when you are walking into your house and you decide to go ahead and turn on the AC, there's a difference between the actual thing that just simply just shows you what the temperature is in the room and the actual switch that you throw on that actually can change what the temperature is in the room. You see, there's a lot of people who believe that when they walk into the room, whatever the temperature is in the room, that the temperature is set and there's nothing that they can do about it. They believe that their job is set and there's nothing they can do about it. They believe that the circumstances are set and there's nothing they can do about it. But then there's another person who operates from a place of success that believes that when I walk into a room, regardless of what the temperature is, I have the ability to be able to change the temperature in the room. I have the ability at any point to hit a switch and I can change what things will look like. And that is a thing that is common for successful people. Let me tell you, successful people understand this, that you have the ability to change your circumstances and that your circumstances do not dictate what is taking place in your life. And I'm gonna share something with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I want you to get this. I had to learn this lesson the hard way. You see, I left corporate America back in 2004. And upon me leaving corporate America, I made a decision to invest in some real estate that was in Costa Rica. And I literally took all of my savings and I made this investment in Costa Rica. And unfortunately for me, the investment went completely south. I lost all of my money. And let me try to explain to you what my circumstances were at that moment. The moment I got the phone call, or I made the phone call and discovered that I lost the money, here's what the circumstances were. The circumstances were I walked away from my corporate job. And so at that point, I was unemployed and I left my job thinking that I was going to go out there and start becoming a successful entrepreneur. And clearly things didn't quite work out the way that I thought that they would. The second thing is I had all of my savings that really was part of the reason why I had enough confidence to leave corporate America was because I saved up a significant amount of money that gave me some breathing space. I lost all of my savings. So now I want you to get this. Here's what the circumstances are. I've got no job. I've got no savings. And now I find myself in a situation that mentally I'm distraught and mentally I'm feeling down because I realize I've made a bonehead decision and I'm beating myself up. And let me tell you something, the more that I focused on the circumstances, the more that I played the victim role, the more that I was blaming it on the person that I decided to invest with, the more that I was blaming on the fact that that person violated my trust, the more that I focused on the fact that I didn't have a job, that I didn't have any money in the savings, the worse that I began to feel and the more stuck that I literally became. And so what I need you to understand is that the difference for those who are able to have success is not the fact that they don't ever find themselves in circumstances that are difficult. It's not the fact that they will never find themselves in a situation where they've lost a job, where somebody has broken their heart, where they had their business fail, where they had an opportunity, a missed opportunity, where they lost a significant amount of money in an investment, where they got a bad diagnosis from the doctor, or they found themselves in a situation where things just completely went south. Listen, the major distinction about those who are able to have success is not that those circumstances don't happen to them. The major distinction is this, is that they have a belief that regardless of what the circumstances are, that they have control and the ability to be able to change and create a shift in their circumstances. In other words, they are not literally victims, but they have the ability at any moment. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Listen, let me tell you right now, Andy Henriquez is not telling you that it's easy. I would be lying to you if I told you it was easy. I'd be lying to you. I told you it was easy to get up every day and work your business, even when you're not necessarily having and producing the results that you want. I would tell you, I'd be lying to you if I tell you it was easy to get up and keep a smile on your face and work hard on your marriage or work hard on your relationship when it seems that you're drifting apart and you're not quite seeing the things that you want. I would tell you, I would be lying to you if I told you that it was easy to hold on to the dream and the vision when you get up every day and the things that you're doing is not in alignment with what you think you've been called to do. I would be lying to you if I told you that it was easy to stick to it and to continue to push forward when you've been at it for years and months and you're not quite seeing the results. I would be lying to you if I told you that it was easy to live out your purpose and your dream. I'd be lying to you. And so nobody said it was easy. But one of the things that I'll tell you is this, is that regardless of what your circumstances are at this moment, I believe, and I believe that this is a belief among all those who are able to have success, and whatever that success may be, is that in order for you to change the circumstances, you have to have a belief within yourself that it is possible for you to change your circumstances, that it is possible for you to be able to create a shift, that you don't need to wait on a government bailout. You don't need to be able to wait for a change in who's president and who's not president, that you don't need to wait to find out who's going to be your boss. You don't need to wait to see what's going on in the stock market. You don't need to wait to see if anybody's going to give you a handout or help you out. You don't need to wait for somebody else to say yes to your goals and your dream. You don't need to wait for anybody else to go ahead and give you permission to do those things, but you simply have a belief that you can be the one to change your circumstances, that you have a belief that you will be the one to change things around. And so I told you that I was going to share two very simple but yet profound belief systems that I believe that all successful people have in common. And I'm gonna share them with you again. And do me a favor right now. If you're just jumping on right now, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and make sure that you go ahead and hit the share button. Hit the share button if you haven't had an opportunity yet to go ahead and share this message, because I'm going to do a very quick recap before we go ahead and wind this down. The first belief system that I believe that all successful people have in common is that they believe that tomorrow will be better than today. And so no matter if today was a difficult day or if today was a phenomenal day, successful people believe that tomorrow will be better than today. They believe this, that the future is going to be better than the present. They believe, carefully listen, that the future is going to be better than the present. And that belief empowers them with where they are right now. And the second thing that I believe that all successful people have in common is that they believe that regardless of what the circumstances are, that they have the ability to change the circumstances, that at any moment they can use willpower, that they can use grit, that they can use determination to be able to change their circumstances. They believe in what Charles Swindoll said when he said this. He said that life is only 10% what happens to you. The other 90% is how you respond. Because guess what? What happens to you happens to us all. All of us have to deal with disappointments. All of us have to deal with rejection. All of us have to deal with challenges. All of us have to deal with obstacles. The real defining thing between those who make it and those who don't is how you respond. How will you show up? How will you respond in the midst of the circumstances, in the midst of all the difficulty, in the midst of all the challenges? What will you do to change the circumstances? What will you do to change tomorrow? That's the question. And so I'm believing and I'm hoping for you that the rest of your life is going to be the best of your life, that the rest of this year is going to be the best of this year, that your better days are before you and not behind you. But I understand that the only reason why you're going to do that is you got to be willing to buy into 100% the belief that your future is going to be better than the present. And you've got to believe wholeheartedly, 100%, that regardless of what your circumstances are, that you have the belief and you believe and you have complete control to change those circumstances. Let me tell you right now, I'll tell you this and I'll tell you this over again. I believe wholeheartedly that if you want to create a major shift and a change in your life, that one of the first places that you got to start right now, this moment, is you simply got to start getting serious about raising your expectations. And once again, the only reason why I say that is because nobody, and that includes you, that includes me, nobody rises to low expectations. Hey, listen, once again, this has been Andy Henriquez. I want to thank you for tuning in and joining me for the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. Hey, I want to share something with you because I want you to get access to this. I personally believe, if you'll notice, every time I share these messages with you, I incorporate stories, and I believe that you have a story. I believe that you have a kind of story that can create a shift and a change in your own life and also be able to create a shift in the life of others. I believe that if you use your story properly as an entrepreneur, that your story will be able to help you to elevate your game. Your story will be able to help you to attract more high-paying customers and clients. I believe that if you have a service-based business, that you can leverage your story to attract opportunities, attract more people to you. And so just a couple weeks ago, I did a training in which I shared the #1 strategy to get your audience, to get your clients, to get people to be able to connect with your story. If you like the way that I share stories in order to be able to drive points, in order to be able to connect with you, I want to invite you to take advantage of this free training that I did. And all you have to do is head on over to showupforyourlifetv.com. Once again, very easy. You're going to go to showupforyourlifetv.com. Fill out the very quick form, and instantly you're going to get access to a training that I did in which I shared the #1 strategy to get your audience, your customers, your clients to be able to connect with your story. And so really quickly, just head on over to showupforyourlifetv.com, and that'll be a very, very profound training. You're going to love the training. You're going to get some great takeaways from it, but it's something I want to make available to you. And so if you don't want to type all that in and you want to get a shortcut, all you have to do is go to sufyltv.com. which is simply the first letters, right? The acronym for Show Up for Your Life. So SUFYLTV.com. Once again, that is SUFYLTV.com. Or you can go to showupforyourlifetv.com. Go ahead and fill out the quick form. You're going to get access immediately to the training I did, in which I share the #1 strategy to get your audience to connect with your story. And so listen, I am so grateful, and I thank all of you for tuning in. Do me a quick favor. If you got value from this message, and if for some reason you haven't yet done so, do me a favor, hit the share button, because I believe that there's somebody you're connected to, somebody who is part of your tribe that is going to be able to benefit from this message. So before we go ahead and chime out, I want to give a shout out to some people. I want to give a shout out to Shannon. Shout out to Roz Jones, the Roz Jones, who is part of my Master Storyteller Academy, or my Master Storyteller team. Also want to give a shout out to Nidra, give a shout out to Frankie, give a shout out to Jamila. And so, of course, I want to thank all of you. And do me a quick favor. If you got value from today's message, if you got value and you enjoyed it, just put hashtag yes, yes, hashtag yes, yes right now. Go ahead and put that in the comment section, hashtag yes, yes. And that's your way of letting me know, yes, Andy, yes, I got value from today's message. And so once again, like always, I want to thank all of you for tuning in and joining me for the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. And like always, you can join me same time, same place, each and every Thursday. Yes, yes. Shannon said yes, yes. Jamila said yes, yes. I love it. Hashtag yes, yes. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in each and every week. Frankie said hashtag yes, yes. I see you, Frankie. Awesome. All right. So I want to thank you all for joining me every single week on a Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. Shout out to Rachel, hashtag yes, yes. Ross Jones, hashtag yes, yes. Andrew Simpson, who's going to be coming down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida in September to join me for the Master Storyteller Academy, which is one of the premier trainings for people who are speakers, coaches, and authors who want to be able to leverage their stories. As a matter of fact, Roz Jones, do me a favor and go ahead and make sure you put the link Master Storyteller Academy in the comment section for anybody who's tuned in right now that wants to join us in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on September 7th through the 9th. I'm doing a 3-day transformational training specifically for people who are speakers, who are authors, who are coaches, who want to be able to take their signature story so that they can better connect with their audience, make more impact, so that they can get reoccurring speaking engagements, so that they can be able to literally be able to attract high-paying customers and clients. If that is you, listen, somebody on my team is going to go ahead and type in the comment section, masterstorytelleracademy.com, masterstorytelleracademy.com. And I want you to go ahead and make sure you head on over there so that way you can learn a little more about the Master Storyteller Academy.com. That way you can learn a little more. You'll go to the masterstorytelleracademy.com. It's going to be September 7th through the 9th. And literally, this is going to be a transformational training experience. So for those of you, you can still register. You can still join us. Fill out the quick application. Someone on my team will be in contact with you to share the details with you so that hopefully you can make a quick decision as to whether or not you're going to join us. So listen, family, it's been awesome. Do me a favor. Make sure you share this message. I thank you so much once again for joining me on the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. Hey, I'll be seeing you same time, same place next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. God bless. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Lewis, what's going on, my brother?